Thank you. That concludes the debate on a motion on legislative consent for the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Bill, UK legislation. It's now time to move on to the next item of business, which is a debate on motion 20373 in the name of Martin Whitfield, on behalf of the Standards, Procedures and Public Appointments Committee, on standing order rule changes, lodging deadlines for public bills. And I call on Martin Whitfield, on behalf of the Standards, Procedures and Public Appointments Committee, to speak to and move the motion.
Grateful, Presiding Officer, and it is a fine way to finish the formal part of the Chamber after a long day. And I formally move motion 20373 in my name on behalf of the committee. And I would like to thank Ruth Maguire, who supported the motion, but also to thank her as Deputy Convener of the SPPA Committee. The motion is the first, and I can assure the Chamber not the last, report from SPPA Committee this year recommending changes to standing order rules. The motion today recommends a temporary rule change to standing orders on the lodging deadline for public bills at Stage 2 and Stage 3. This follows the committee's consideration of a letter from the presiding officer on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau proposing we consider an earlier deadline on the days before the final lodging day for an amendment. And we support this change and are recommending altering the current deadline from 4:30 p.m. on a day to 2:30 p.m. on a day, any day that an amendment may be lodged, but excluding the final day. And we are proposing that this change should apply to the daily deadline in relation to Stage 2, Stage 3, reconsideration stage and the budget bill. The aim is that this change will enable the legislation clerks to prepare the daily list at an earlier point in the day and consequently lead to the daily list being circulated to members earlier than it does at the moment. Any amendment that would be lodged after that deadline would appear on the next day's daily list. And I'm keen to emphasise that as the deadline on the final day for lodging amendments will remain at 12 noon, the overall time available for members to lodge amendments does not change. As the Bureau suggested, the committee is recommending that a temporary rule be in place until the end of 2026, the end of this year. And I'm happy to take an intervention.
Stephen Kerr.
So obviously, as the member knows, I'm quite interested in innovation in the way we do things in this place. So I'm wondering whether or not, with just a few weeks left of this session, whether the committee might be minded to consider other temporary changes in the rules so that we can experiment with how we can improve the processes and procedures of this Parliament.
Martin Whitfield.
I'm very grateful to the member's intervention. We are always curious, we are always inquisitive, we are always iterative in changes that can improve the functioning of the Scottish Parliament. And as the member is aware, but I will reiterate again today, the offer is always open to write to the committee with proposals, and we will consider those and respond accordingly. The Bureau suggested that the committee, in recommending this temporary rule, run it till the end of 2026. And the reason for that is, as has been indicated in the intervention, we're coming to the end of a session of Parliament and a new session will start in the near future. We think this rule change should be subject to interim review, both at the end of this current session but also again at the end of 2026, and we support the review of the operation of the temporary rule being undertaken at these 2 points. We consider that it is the Bureau who would be best placed to undertake the interim review at the end of the session, and the committee that will follow mine look forward to receiving a note on that. The motion it is proposed will take effect from next Monday, Monday the 19th of January. And with that, I move the motion, and I am grateful, Presiding Officer.
Thank you. That concludes the debate on standing order rule changes, lodging deadlines for public bills. And I'm minded to accept a motion without notice under Rule 11.2.4 of Standing Orders that decision time be brought forward to now, and I invite the Minister for Parliamentary Business to move the motion.
Recognising this may well be the last time we do something like this in this Parliament, Presiding Officer, the way things are shaping up, I move the motion.
Thank you. The question is that decision time be brought forward to now. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
We are agreed, and there are 3 questions to be put as a result of today's business. The first is that motion 20390 in the name of Richard Lockhead on the UEFA European Championship Scotland Bill at Stage 3 be agreed. And as this is a motion to pass the bill, the question must be decided by division, so there will be a short suspension to allow all members to access the digital voting system.